white one.
That's the white one there. And obviously that's got no glass, so...
so that's got no glass at all, so that's
just straight in there, so... This stuff will scratch really easily, so I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yeah. So clearly this is... so that kind of oil is... How did you get that? You just touched it?
I was just pushing from the back. With my finger there.
So if you don't push from the back, you don't get it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I'm seeing it, but
I'm seeing some just here. It's just the point contact. So nothing is perfectly flat. The glass is as flat as you'll get. The natural tendency of that perspex is to do this in there because it's not a flat surface. Well, it is flat, but it's not rigid. So I can see some. I can put the name on it. Some rings happening there in the light. So
yeah, I can see it instantly. Which you suggested straight away was going to happen now. Yeah, but you know, I just wondered if we hang it, if we don't.
I can see just looking at this angle now, striations
which you exactly suggested it was going to happen. Yeah.
We don't charge for that dust. That's all free. So.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a scratch on the glass, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll kill him. Get this on TV, will you?
They disappeared. Where did they disappear to?
Why don't we put it back? Just sort of now.
Well, I can tell straight away we're going to have a problem here. Yeah, and you advise that. So I'm quite happy to take it to that stage. But so. Will this work if you just drop it down? Can you put the same spacer in there?
Exactly, it's not a problem.
Yeah, that's going to look shit hot. I just want to make these very simple pieces, but I want to do it in additions.
So, what actually are you going to do with the finished product?
This is it.
That's it? And they're going to be hung in groups or one?
Yeah, three.
I understand now.
Three. Yeah, a green, yellow, and a red.
I never know what Julian's going to do with this.
Julian doesn't know sometimes. Yeah, the yellow one was bang on, apart from the scratch on the glass on the inside, and the green one was as we expected. It was getting the oily rings, but I had to see it. And the red one was strangely close in a way which I had not imagined. It was not quite right, but it was getting there. So enough to say, well, let's take it back to the studio and have a good look at it. And that good look at it could last for 1 month, 1 week, or 1 year, or 10 years. It'll be whether it goes to the next stage or not.
What are the qualities you look for in a framer?
I look for some, the first thing I always say to a picture framer, and I've driven about 6 or 7 of them mad, is that I need, within reason, something to be as perfect as possible, which means that if it's not correct, we'll have to do it again. And I had my checkbook there, I had the money in the bank account, I was not asking for a discount, I was all happy to pay for the bill then, but I said to them, look, I need it to be correct. And we identified a couple of little mistakes, and they said, well, we'll fix it up straight away. They would have probably even fixed it up while I waited. But I said, no, that's fine, I'll come back when I'm next back from overseas and pick it up. So I need, to answer your question, in a picture framer, they are not, for me it's not just a picture framer, it's more like a fabricator. I need them to have some sort of commitment to excellence. And I always pay the bills, that's the thing. I've just driven one of my people I work with mad, so much so that I think he told me to fuck off the other day. I'm not sure. I had to say, excuse me, what did you say? And he said, oh, if you don't like this, you can bugger off. But I think he said fuck the first time. And I said, what did you say? Because I was aghast. And then he later realised, because it was his mistake, not mine, and I already paid him for it. As I learnt a long time ago, perfection is a state of mind. It's an Agnes Martin quote. But the thing is that so many things in life are not perfect, it's a good situation when you can have a artwork trying to attain that state physically, because it does derive some of its natural beauty from that in the same way that a tree does, or a newborn kitten, or a nicely made pizza.
Would you let a work go out if you didn't think it was perfect?
No. I think that you always know that those things will come back and haunt you. So you always work, you know. I mean, it's never like you have this you get past the perfection feeling. You're not looking at it thinking, oh, this is perfect, I've achieved perfection. It's just, you look at it and you think, I've achieved what I wanted to do with that work. And part of that is to do with it physically as you want it. Part of it is also emotionally as you want it. Probably the bigger part. So no, that's, you never put anything up on the wall or on the floor or wherever unless you're completely happy with it. That's the baseline, you know. But the thing is, over time you can change the way you feel about things. I think a lot of artists, probably most artists, are a little bit embarrassed by their early work. Because the thing is, they get better. But if we hadn't had those earlier works, we wouldn't have got better, so, you know, they're important.
With regards to that, do you care about what happens to the old works?
Oh yeah, I certainly I care about it, but I've learned that I can't control it. Yeah, I very much care about them, but I'm very aware that I can't control what happens to them, because as soon as they leave my control, you know, there's only a certain amount I can do with them. For instance, I remember years ago, when I was still at art school, I gave a flatmate a work of mine as a present, and she, every time I bumped into her for like the next 20 years, she said to me how much she enjoyed this this work of mine, and how much she loved hanging it. It was hanging in her bedroom, and how it gave her such pleasure and satisfaction to see it every day. And I became very proud of her, the effect that was having on her. Until one day, to my surprise, when I visited her bedroom on a social basis, on a friendly basis, or a basis of friendship. To my amusement, it was hung upside down, and she'd been having all this pleasure off this work of mine hung upside down for the last 20 years. C'est la vie, as we say in France. The thing is, what I did was I turned it up the other way and said, look, you can have 20 more years pleasure out of it now. That was about 10 years ago. But you know, you can't, what can you do? Yeah, the Dutch have an expression, which none of the Dutch have heard of, that if something is too perfect, it's ugly. So you need a little blemish. And my best works have, I can take you immediately to them, have just something very tiny in them which is wrong. But I only know that, not the other people.